Let's just do... Oh my god, I forgot. I got so excited about this build that I forgot item prediction follow-up, right? Let's do that. Let's put up some music. Who doesn't like this music? Let's make it a little bit quieter. Oh, we need two backpack battles to be open anyway. So for those of you who don't know what is gonna happen, a little bit over a week ago, before the release of the game, I made up predictions for all the items which could be seen in the trailer. Can you see it? Yeah, here. So I made all the predictions for all the items without knowing what they do, of course. And I wrote it down and made a YouTube video, cut the part of the stream where I did that and made a YouTube video as well. So if you want to check it out, you can go to YouTube. Link in the description. So now let's do a follow-up and let's look over what we got right and what we got wrong. I have no idea how to probably we're gonna use some colors, right? Green for right, yellow for kinda right, and green for or red for wrong, right? So we'll colorize so it can be visible. So first of all, I love that I got all the gated items right. I got almost all of them. I think the only one I missed. What is green one which doesn't hurt eyes? Oh my god. I think actually that green is good. So yeah, Beastmaster gating this critters, pack leader gating doggos, scale warden gating dragons, and shaman gating runes. I called all of those. The only thing which I didn't call correctly is that Cryomancer is also gating ice items. That is, I think, the only gating which I didn't figure out. Is there something else we have? Oh, I think I also didn't figure out the gating of Mr. Struggles, but we haven't seen a single dolls in the trailer. They're not visible there, so I couldn't really predict that. So that is all correct. Amazing. That is that pets and gemstones is easy. So let's see. First of all, squirrel produce luck. And for some Beastmaster that it gives some boosts of pets, I would put yellow because it's correct, but it's very light prediction. I guess let's put it green. It's at 50. So I have the system I used basically that for each item I have a prediction for which I'm almost sure that it is 90%. I have one which is 50%, probably does something like that, and one is I don't know which the most absurd things I have here. So the fact that Beastmaster does give a little bit boost of to pets is correct. It's very light prediction, but it is kind of correct. So let's actually leave it yellow. I think yellow is better. That's a very terrible yellow. This is better. So squirrel produces slug is actually wrong, right? It steals buffs, which can be said that it produces luck as well if you steal luck, but I don't think that's correct. Oh my god. What are those colors? I'm sorry, I have add-on which negates all the colors. That's why they're weird. Let's use that one. So yeah, so I'm not... This is on so I don't flashbang people. Mouse produces poison, does it, right? I haven't actually played it once. Yeah, chance to inflict poison. Okay, we got that right. I need to double check now every time I switch screens because backpack battle sometimes lags out the OBS. So produce poison is correct. Hedgehog produces spikes. It does produce spike, right? Well, it does. A little bit. Not much. But it does produce spike. Not the best of my prediction, but it is technically correct. Some boost on amount. Oh my god. Some boost on amount different. What did I wrote here? Hedgehog primarily produces -7 gold. I didn't predict that, but you are not wrong here. So, oh yeah, I thought that pack leader gives different boosts on just amount of doggos, which is sort of correct, but not exactly. I thought that it will just based on the amount. It is based considering how how easy the stars are to position around. Because how many of them, but well, that's not what I meant exactly, so I'll put yellow here. It kind of was obvious that it'll have be something related to the boost. So let's put yellow. White doggo protects. White doggo does protect, right? Yeah, gain 2 block. There's more effects like that. I was more like generally what they do. Because the exact thing is too hard to predict exactly. Black doggo weapon. I did predict that. Although like I didn't go into details about ignoring armor and stuff. And brown doggo enhances food. I don't think that's what he does. Yeah, that's completely wrong. Yeah, he basically produces buffs for you. So he is basically the food item. Which red did I use? This one. So here. So far, so good. Somebody was shit-talking me that I would get everything wrong. Scale Warden, it lets eggs hatch in 1 turn. I got this one right. There's obviously extra effects, which you can get like stats, but the thing about them, like those stats, I guess the healing from dragon could be said that it's like a main one and unique one, but stats are usually more like balancing thing, right? For example, Lechi is a good example. Like what it does is give you max HP. But since 10 max HP is not enough, it also gives you a random buff, so to kind of balance it, so it's not just that bad. And it's also not too good by giving like 15 or 20 max HP. So some of those are kind of like balancing things, which are very hard to guess. So Blue Dragon Frost, wrong. It's actually mana. That is something which somebody said that they're probably mana related. And I did not get that right. Like somebody was correct in the chat, I don't remember who that was. So weapon is correct, but it doesn't really matter. Purple, blind or fatigue? I don't think I got purple. Yeah, it's debuffs and removing buffs. Unfortunate. I'm very close with some of those, and poison I got right. But those I'm kind of close, especially with blind, fatigue. Like technically it does give some blind, but that's not what I meant. I thought like it'll be like actual per hit, but it's stealing buffs. Kind of similar because we thought with chat that it's something like corruption related, and it's either fatigue or buff removal. If Ice Dragon was in the trailer, it would have been more obvious that it was mana. Yeah, you're right. If we had seen this guy in the trailer, then we're like, okay, that's mana. Yeah, you're right. I mean, since it's a Sapphire, right? Sapphire does have 2 effects exactly, so, or actually 3, right? It has mana generation, it has cold, and it has block on mana. And it has like the block on mana part, which honestly makes the least amount of sense. Because this is like, the Sapphire does like block on mana only if it's in armor, and that's a weapon which does the same thing. Instead of doing what Sapphire does on hit, it instead does what Sapphire does on protection. So, you know, I think I should have been right. So, Shaman. Elephant rule, I just put a general that Badger rune will be damage up, Eagle rune will be accuracy or crit, and Elephant rune will be survival. Let me see, where are those runes? I think Eagle can be said that it's correct in a weapon socket, because it is crit chance and crit damage. I'd put yellow, because it's not too good, because I didn't figure out that it will be... Or actually, accuracy is kind of like blind resistance, honestly. It is kind of very similar. Because I'm sorry, I hope the jumping between windows is not too jarring. Maybe I should like try to do it on 2 screens, but then I'll need to figure out where to put chat in. I hope it's not like flashbanging you. So honestly, chance to resist is kind of accuracy, right? So instead of like generating luck, it just resists blind. So I would put Hawk rune, which I thought would be eagle, but you know, I would put it green. That's fine. Elephant is survival and Badger is damage up. Badger is not damage up. This is trigger free faster is not what I meant. And like less stamina is also not really damage up. Elephant Rule, chance to stun, chance to resist debuffs, and maximum health. Well, I got only the backpack part. Maximum health is survival. Everything else is kind of like chance to resist debuffs is not really survival. So I would say Badger Rune is wrong completely. That's not what I meant. And Elephant Rule can be yellow. It's kind of close to what I meant. God damn it, what are the colors here? So not bad so far. I'm not gonna like colorize those because it doesn't really matter. And the name of stuff doesn't really matter as well, like if I got them right or not. I don't think it matters too much. So Pyromancer. I think this one is a bag item, and that's actually exactly what it does. It produces 1 fire. I didn't guess the max HP part, which I think actually could be discerned from the trailer. I didn't double check after that, because you can probably see that max HP is increased. Actually, you know what? We did think about the max HP. We thought that Phoenix gives max HP instead of bag. We actually noticed that. Yeah, I remember talking about it, because you could see in the trailer. Let me probably pull it up so we can have some reference to show people what the decisions were made on. Let me try to find it. I don't have a quick link to it. Backpack battles and trailer. Here. Let me turn off music. So you can see a part of the battle where Phoenix is used. God damn it, where is it? Here, and we did notice that his max HP is higher. We saw that there's 2 blood amulets, which makes it all the way up to 300, and we didn't like. We saw that max HP is different, but we didn't figure out that that's the bag which gives it. But it's kind of interesting that we did notice that. Fire produces 1 hit and combines with weapon. Absolutely correct. 100%. Fire weapon I didn't get right. Fire weapon completely wrong. I thought that you can see this oh my god, I'm sorry, wrong. You can see in the battle that he crits, but he doesn't have like any way to crit. Not a way we know at the point. So it turned out that those things give you 5 crits. But I thought it would be like heat weapon would be having crit based on amount of heat, similar to how Ranger has a crit based on his luck. We probably thought it was the Draconian Corpse. Yeah, I think it was. I think that's what we thought about. Let me see. Draconian Corp. Dragon. Yes, we thought that it was Dragon. Yeah, we wrote it down right there. We thought the Dragon Color gives us 10 max HP. Yeah, you're right. And that is also Dragon Color is one I didn't get right. I thought that I saw this board with a lot of flames, and I thought that those guys also produce flames, so you can get, so basically like an eco item, but that's completely wrong. Those vamp amulets were bait all along. True. So magic stuff. So magic stuff proves Dragon Color, so we got the recipe correct. I did write for some stuff like recipes. Again, it's not the biggest thing I was like trying to predict, but it is correct. Damaging for each hit or in some interacting. Yeah, that's a very loosey-loose sentence I made. It is kind of correct that it is like takes heat to increase damage, but that is far away from what I meant. In some way interacts with dragons. That's completely wrong. I thought it in some ways interacts with dragons because it's a dragon stuff, you know, that makes sense. But that is not the case at all. So Ruby Whelp plus Dragon Color is also, we got it correctly, that it's a combination, because that was also not obvious. With how much dragons have been visible in the trailer, it wasn't obvious that this one was a dragon color, but they're so similar that I said to the chat that is probably what it is. I didn't write anything for how it works, so only the fact that it's a weapon, which was obvious. Chili pepper. Heat every 4 or 5 seconds. I got this very correctly. I didn't guess that it would do something else. What did I say? By the way, I forgot already. It also heals and also can cleanse debuffs, but again, those are mostly like balancing. We'll probably see a lot of changes to those down the line. We'll probably see like heal will go down. Maybe it'll actually stop cleansing debuff. So I like the thing which is main about chili pepper is that it produces heat, and that we got right. Also, I didn't get that. I thought that Goobert might be only one. I think about cheese, we thought that cheese Goobert might be only one cheese. I don't think we ever thought that chili Goobert will be one chili, but that is actually wrong. I think I'll put yellow because, I mean, it's still chili, but you know what, I'll put wrong because there's not a lot of things to try to guess. I always forget about the debuff cleansing, exactly, but it actually doesn't matter quite a bit, especially against blind builds, right? That's why sometimes, like, often when I like do this double Goobert, double weapon, I try to get some chili peppers as well, because you can get some cleansing out of it. Armor also cleanses, but chili pepper is better. And chili Goobert giving heat every X activation is true. There's also, what else does it do? It also heals you for 10, which was a very high chance that it would do, but we didn't guess it for chili pepper, so we didn't really guess it for chili Goobert either. I hope you see every time I like switch around between screens. Phoenix, pet, weapon, ranged, heals instead of dying once healing 10 per hit. Yeah, that's we got correctly. Maybe develops Ruby Whelp. That is wrong. We thought that maybe it somehow like interacts with Ruby Whelps. Or not even interact. No, I thought maybe that it will be not a shop item, but it actually a Ruby Whelp plus something, plus like, you know, Phoenix Feather or something. That will be a separate item which will create a Phoenix. But yeah, I didn't get right that one. Firebender. Firebender is which one? Firebender is friendly fire. Will increase heat production around itself. That is wrong, right? It doesn't increase heat production around itself. It's not completely wrong, it does increase heat production. I'll put yellow, although it's like loosey-loose. Because I thought that it'll actually like improve items around it and make them produce more heat. You know what, let's actually put it red, otherwise people are gonna scream at me, you got it wrong! So yeah. I am a little bit right that it produces heat. You know, I can like... Can I just make this one green? But in general, I was wrong about it. Crusader somehow ties HP with heat. Nah, like, kinda wrong. The only thing which is right about it, that it steals regeneration. So the class items were the ones which I think will be the most mistakes, because they're the hardest to predict. Ashbringer give fatigue based heat. Also not correct, right? It doesn't touch upon fatigue at all. Cryomancer produce cold for each hit. That is correct. That is actually 100% correct. That is, of course we didn't like figure out that it's a gated item, or like the gate item which gives us all the frost items, but still the fact that we got that one right is pretty good. Said banner will give regen. Yeah, you did. I remember that. I actually do remember that you said that it will give regen. I said, yeah, there's hard, but nah. I think actually from that I wrote somehow ties HP with heat. I think we thought like for each heat it will get regeneration, or like somehow related, but this is completely unrelated. Like it's actually blind related, which could be technically predicted because it does seem like a holy item, I guess, and a lot of holy items do blind, but a little bit too hard. Berserker Battle Rage is at 50 HP. Yes. Hammer, weapon plus forged items. Yes. Although I guess like it also empower, like the gimmick was empower. We didn't get it. Berserker back damage, resistance, and speed boost on Battle Rage. What does back do again? It does Battle Rage itself, of course. Item inside triggers 30% fire. You take 2. Oh, actually, we got it absolutely correctly. All the effects. We got all the effects on the back. Interacts with amount of forged items, probably crit. That is interesting that it actually on Anvil, right? Like, it's wrong here, but Anvil it does interact with amount of crafted items, not just forged. So we got right that it'll be somewhere as a mechanic, but we didn't get the right item. I don't remember what we got on the Anvil part. We'll see. Forged gloves. They do not speed up and power when Battle Rage. Wrong. They do speed up, but only during Battle Rage. Forged shoes. Stronger effect, but only once you Battle Rage. What does even... I used them once. What do they even do? Where are those shoes? Here. Gain luck. Yeah, those are completely different effects, to be honest. Like the only similar thing is block. Frozen, thank you. It did happen. I'm trying to check from time to time, but I'm missing at some points. The dragon skin boots. Oh my god. Okay, no fault. Thank you, Loden, for saying that it froze. It's a stronger threat, but only...
The Germans are here.
Hey!
Yeah, the Germans are attacking.
The retarded...
joke, I'm sorry.
The picture didn't load. Sometimes Twitch is like that. Hey, retarded, how are you doing? Thank you for the rate, I appreciate it a lot. How are you doing, man? I'm going through the predictions I made from the trailer. You see from the colors that I actually got quite a bit of things right, so I'm doing good. What's up, man? I'm doing good. How about you? I'm doing good in general as well. Has been playing Pyro, getting to diamond slowly. We got actually, you know, let me share one thing. We got I got my first 0-second kill with this build, with this monster of a build. I don't look at this, that he has HP, is actually like you kill them and then some of his items trigger and he gets some back. It's a scam. What? Yeah, the way it works is basically you kill them. Because I trigger everything on 0 HP, I kill them first and then their 0 HP stuff works. So he actually got some max HP from Snake. He has a Snake right there. The class item. So he got up from minus HP, but you still win. It works the same if you do mana first kill. But yeah, you can insta-kill people with sun shields and a lot of armor, which is fun. I mean, that's not the what part. I'm sorry. Yeah, I've seen this build and I said that I want to try it and I actually did. How the fuck did you kill him in 0 seconds? Stun shields and armor. Stun shields do 4 damage for each 10 block gained. And you see that I have a little bit of block here. So all of this is just to get like a bunch of block. The lantern actually also helps. Because of lantern, we get more HP from stone armor. Because they gave 30% of missing HP in block. So those actually get some more. Quote unquote. A little bit. I mean, only 800. We got it actually working very early. This is 18th round, but we got it working on round 14. Wait, you win? Even though he has 48 HP. Yes, the way it works is that this build is a lot weaker if you are the host, right? If you meet it in the wild. Because the way 0 second things work, that you trigger all of them first. And then opponent triggers all of their first. So if he has some starting block, it doesn't trigger. If he has any max HP starting, doesn't trigger. All of that does not trigger. So if I can kill him just a regular HP, I can kill him, I win. And then he gets all his HP back, and he actually can get like... You see, I also didn't kill him. Like, if he would play as a host against me, that what will be after all of the triggers, and he will kill me because I have 0 damage. A little bit of sustain, but like all the builds actually kill this. And how does it work from that on? Just win instantly every fight? Yes. From round 14 we won every fight instantly. We actually don't see your second stone armor trigger, so you had even more. Wait. Oh yeah, you're correct. I have a lot more damage. So you got 90 block, 36. Which one is it? It's 9 times 4. 36. Okay, yeah, there is some more damage for sure. Because there's 1 stone armor with only 1 sun shield. So there should be like 3 more. Or actually, there's only 1. There's only 1 sun shield. One of the sun shield also didn't trigger. There's another one waiting to be triggered. So basically we have 4 more times 36. So have like 144 more damage in us. Okay, nice. Good point, Loudon. I didn't notice that. If I somehow queue into you and I die in 0 seconds, I'll try to Estonia flight this and just to kick your ass, I swear. I mean, if you play right now, you have a chance. After that, probably not. I don't know if I'm gonna play it again. Like, I did it for fun. I might do it like if I get a decent like start of it. It is very fun, but a good point. Who was it who pointed out? AJ Fish pointed out that it's kind of hard to maintain. If you get like pretty early on a 0 second kill, like after that you need to constantly get lucky on getting armor or a next sun shield, because you constantly need to get up, like, because we're killing people barely. But now after Loudon pointed the fact that my second stone arm didn't trigger, we might have had actually more damage than we thought. Because it would always kill like, you know, only like 20 or 50 minus HP, but maybe it just stops triggering after you kill. So honestly, we might have had a lot more damage in us. Did you make that build? That seems like a build you would create. No, I've seen it. I did theorize about like sun armor being able to insta-kill people. But it's not really a build. Like, the build is get as much sun shield as possible and as much armor as possible. I've seen it first on Time for a Miracle Discord. Somebody posted this picture. So I guess like the credit goes to them, but I heard like theorizing about sun shields being able to kill from the start. Like, it's like a nerd meeting meeting a villain. But yeah, I wouldn't say like it's a specific build. The build is sun shields plus armor. So it's like the build itself is very general terms. But yeah, I'm gonna continue going through. I don't think we did something extra like ridiculous today anymore. Like, that was the most ridiculous thing we did. Otherwise, like, just regular games and having fun as always. So let's see, is it visible? The Forged Shoes, kinda correct that it only triggers during Battle Rage, but not correct enough. Forged ELG, more powerful after Battle Rage, that I got right, but somebody suggested that it's gonna be probably even slower and more damage, like 8 seconds with 8 second cooldown with 100 damage, but that is wrong. Right, man, I'm gonna go early today. No worries at all, and thank you and have a good night. That you're having a good time always. Of course, goodbye to everyone. Bye bye, Richarded. Axe related with Empower. I didn't get that right. Honestly, I should have put it in the Forged ELG. The fact that Forged ELG like is related to Empower makes a lot more sense because the regular ELG is related to Empower, right? Axis just has like damage on self. Forged Axe, that's actually wrong. It's not Forged Axe. That I got wrong. It's not Forged because it's double axe. It's two axes together. Weapon boost with Battle Rage, so it's wrong. Cheese, max HP, correct. Cheese Goobert, I didn't get that it's 2 cheese, it's actually only 1. And it's max HP, correct. I think that's the only thing it does, right? Cheese Goobert, no, you get also random buffs. So both regular cheese and a cheese Goobert give you random buffs, so there's some extra stuff here. Here, forged armor, damage resistance in Battle Rage, I got that right. Spike color, double axe does get stronger in Battle Rage, doesn't it? No, it doesn't. Let me see, where is it? I don't think it has any like correlation with Battle Rage. Oh no, it does. Trigger extra attack, damage gain increased to 3. Oh, it is true. It does have a Battle Rage. That's actually very weird. This is the only, I think the only item which interacts with Battle Rage, which is not forged. Is it? Is there something else which interacts with it? I guess Spike Color technically. Though I guess it's not the main aspect of the weapon. Yeah, for sure. How did I write it? Oopsie, wrong thing. This is from the stream of Duncan Slam. The guy was streaming for 58 hours. From Saturday evening all the way to like today during the day. I was on the stream for almost the whole time. It was amazing. Where is it? Boosts with Battle Rage. Yeah, I guess it's a boost. Let's put yellow. You know what? It kind of true. Not exactly what I meant, but not far off. Spike color interacts with spikes. Unfortunately, that's completely wrong. Doesn't have anything to do with spikes. Spike damage is not capped. Well, completely wrong. Blacksmith. That's anvil. Interact with hammer forge. Probably boost forged items. Kinda correct. But the opposite. The forged items boost it, right? It gives 1 spike. Does it? Wait a moment. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Does it? Oh my god. You know, then it's correct. It does give spike. It's a very okay. You know what? I'll put it yellow. That's not what I meant. but you know, it does give spikes. You're right, AJ Fish. I actually completely forgot about that. So blacksmith, he does interact with forged items. I thought that it'll be the opposite, that it'll boost forged items, but it does the opposite. It boosts a weapon from each forged item. Would be pretty weird if Spike Color did nothing spike related. That's true. So it was a pretty safe assumption that it does something with spikes. You know what? Let's put it in green because that's actually what I meant. Like, you know, that in some loose way you'll interact with spikes. I didn't get like completely. I got completely wrong what it would actually do, but this was a very general statement that it will interact with spikes. Probably give it. So it is kind of true actually. To be fair, the spike related thing it does is generate heat for Draconic Corpusers. You're not wrong. Chieftain, this thingy interacts with nature tag. That is actually completely true. I think that was the hardest one to predict because like it's very hard to figure out what it does from visuals. Interacts with pets is wrong. I thought that it might like boost pets or something, but it doesn't. Although at the same time, if you think about it, I think like it's Godi share the build he does. And what he does here is he actually uses how it's called, Deerwood item to speed it up like crazy and have a long battle rage and use it as a Goobert trigger. So it's not completely wrong that it does interact with it because this is a very strong build right now. Or I guess part of the build. Because you can get a very long battle rage and it triggers once per second. So you can get a very fast Goober trigger out of it. But that's not the intended usage of it. Fighter, this one. Weapon, true. I guess I can put green one because it's not obvious that it's a weapon. You know, as a class item, I think that's the only weapon really. Do you have any other weapon classes which are weapons? I think that's literally the single one, right? Oh, a cursed dagger as well. And hammer, no, hammer is a class item. Wait. See, it is like pretty important. Yeah, cursed dagger, exactly, load on, I agree. This is also a weapon. Stun probably stars around it to boost our weapons. We got actually this completely right. Actually so close. 30% chance to stun and starred items gained 5% accuracy and 5% crit chance. That is so close to the point. God damn. Nailed it exactly. Okay, Book of Light. Book of Light actually doesn't exist. I thought that it will be an item, so I guess this completely... Because it is in a trailer, but they tricked us. It doesn't actually go into the... didn't go into the game. Where is it? Here. You can see it here. They just used it as a prop. And they actually didn't introduce it into the game. God damn, we've been tricked. Who could have expected that? That they have an item which they didn't add to the game. Yeah, I thought that it may be like a gate opener for scrolls, and that it probably inflicts blind and has something when blind hits a certain threshold. So that was a prediction, but that's a non-existent item. Maybe it'll come later. Maybe, you know, we'll come back to this prediction later, and we'll actually, like, you know, hey, we actually got that right. So whenever it comes, we need to remember to come back to that. Scroll of Frost Arrow, like Frost Bolt, doesn't matter the name. It inflicts cold after some delay. That is not what I meant. It is yellow because it inflicts cold, but I thought it would be just inflict cold once after like 4-second delay or something, which is not correct. Both books and scroll might use mana. I think only book uses mana, right? Scroll doesn't use it. Yeah, deals damage and inflicts cold. Although it kinda is like a delayed cold. It has multiple uses. Well, I think the fact that it has multiple uses kinda like is a little bit wrong, but I wasn't too far off. So this is also kinda true. The books do use mana, the scrolls not, so it's so. Book of Freeze. I thought it would be Book of Light plus scroll, so that is completely wrong. This is not a combined item. Also, all of those are gated as well, right? So we didn't get that. We didn't figure out that Cryomancer will actually have only those items. Which is kind of sad. The fact that nobody but Cryomancer can inflict like a good cold, not counting the Stone of Cold, is kind of sad. I wish there's more access to cold for more classes. Inflict cold and has something when cold hits a certain threshold. It does inflict cold, but it doesn't have anything to do with threshold, right? Although we did kind of go right about it, that there will be some cold threshold going on, but it has on Ice Dragon, so I wasn't too far off. And also Frostbite, so there's two items which actually work with cold threshold, but specifically not Book of Ice, unfortunately. God damn it. Frozen Blade, Hungry Blade plus Scroll, which is correct. Although you can just buy it in a shop as well. Weapon inflicts cold. Does it inflict cold itself? Chance to inflict cold, nice. Got one right here. Probably scales with cold. It does scale with cold as well, that is correct as well. It does get a damage similar to Dark Saber, nice. I think that... okay, there we go. Vampirical Potion gives Vamp. That was pretty easy. First time you lifesteal. Oh, that's the trigger we thought about. So we thought that the first, like, the time vamp armor triggers will be the first time you lifesteal, which was like, you know, this I don't know prediction. So it is wrong. It is kind of funny that we actually predicted that it will be related to lifesteal, because it does lifesteal, right? So, but it is wrong. It's not what we meant. So strong vampiric being plus blood amulet is wrong. It's plus cauldron, which actually did, like, I did predict that cauldron will make potions stronger ones, but we thought that strong vampiric and strong holy potion or divine potion, whatever it's called, will be accessible to everyone. Gives more vamp. Does it even give more vamp? I think it's the same amount, right? Where is it? It's literally the same amount. It just gives lifesteal for some time. Well, that's unfortunate. So that's a red Dracula shaped. That is just to write down. Oh, that is correct. We are also not sure which one is strong one and which one is a regular one. So I just put it that Dracula shaped one is a strong one. Maybe there will be a cold based class in the future. Like basically the opposite of Pyromancer. I don't know. I feel like they what I think it is with cold based class is that they figured that they cannot think of enough mechanics and like interactions with cold to be its own class, and that's why they decide to put it as a subclass. That's what I think happened there, because heat can have a lot of like interactions, right? Like you can have it speed up, you can have a lot, like as a general, as a buff, like, you know, Ranger has a lot of relations with luck, Pyro has a lot of relation with heat, Berserker has quite a lot of with Empower, but I think that's it. And now like Pyro has a lot, like Cryomancer is a subclass. I would say that honestly Reaper needs some sort of cold subclass. Reaper is a class based entirely on debuffs, right? That's the main gimmick of Reaper, and doesn't have any access to cold. Like what the heck? Pyro, which is based on all the buffs and stuff, it has more access to it than the class which is entirely based around debuffs. God damn it. Maybe, or they didn't want to use it on many subclasses to have their ideas for a full class. Oh, maybe. You know, that's not a bad prediction as well. Maybe they are planning for extra ones. Maybe we'll see DLCs. We'll see extra classes later. You know, maybe. But yeah, honestly, I think they should make Cauldron as a unique item instead. Like just a unique, not a class item. And add some sort of frost-based subclass to Reaper, honestly. Cold and Heat have a lot of potential to be abused. Plus speed, mind speed in games always does. Yeah, you're right. So the fact that Cryomancer like is on a build on a class which speeds up itself, have also enemy speed down, it like feels a little bit wrong. I think a Necromancer would be cool. A Necromancer as a separate class? I think Necromancer will be a subclass of Reaper, honestly. And I have no idea what it mean. There's no dead things in this game. Like, you have one dead person, and that's after each battle, and then you fight the next one. Imagine though, if you die, you get a skeleton or something. Pet based? Pet based? So it's like you meet a ranger with pets and then you get like a free skeleton pet. No, that yet. Yeah, what is it? Necromancer is just a late healer, right? I hate that guy who got 350 hit earlier. His board was just operating so fast that you could barely tell what was going on. Yeah, I saw, like, whenever the topazes before the change, like, were producing heat, and there was like a couple of gimmicks how to get like over 1,000 heat. Yeah, you couldn't realize what was happening as well. Like everything was triggering so fast, I agree. So Holy we actually got this one so right. Removes 10 debuffs, correct. And also once you get 10 debuffs, that is so close that I'll actually put green. It's once you get 20 debuffs, but like that is too close to home to have it yellow. Kind of a Pet Cemetery situation, I see it. It is interesting. You know, you buy a pet and you put it in coffin and next time so it'll be combining with a coffin to create some dead pets. That is actually so stupid that they allow it. Because literally it has a coffin, right? So it might work as hammer on Berserker. This is an honest criticism of early access. There are too many buffs, debuffs, effects going on compared to demo. In demo you knew what was going on. The standard early access game would be considered insane in demo. Yeah, the power level in general increased quite a bit, right? Like the Pyro is probably winning most of the Rangers, and the same with Berserker. They feel like just straight up stronger classes, which I think is fine. Like it'll take some time to like calm them down and nerf them, but I think every patch was that. Every new item they put in are stronger than they should be, and then they nerf them. There's only a few examples where that's not the case. A significant amount of the things that give non-hit buffs or random buffs, it feels. That's actually a good point. Like the game got a lot of random buffs. Like Mega Clover has random buffs. The Shaman got random buffs. Wolpentiger was there before. What else? Actually, I'm already kind of struggling, so maybe not that much. I'm worried that they will only get more complex rather than a bit of simplification. I think they'll just get straight up nerfed. There's quite a few easy nerfs you can do on like general strong items, which will... Like the gimmicks of new items I think are alright. Like Double Axe is alright. I think +2 damage is okay on a weapon. Self-scaling weapon is fine. But it's just too easy to run. Like it just needs to just cost more stamina and be a little slower. Like it's happened with Shovel. Shovel was too godly when it came out. It was very strong weapon, very fast, very cheap in stamina. Then they increased the stamina consumption, they increased the cooldown, and now it's a shitty ass weapon, but you can buy it for eco. People would be more disappointed than new classes, whereas, yeah, that's correct. And also they'll play them less and they'll play test them less, so they will not get the info. So the fact that they make everything overpowered, I think is a good thing, because they get a lot of info because everybody plays it, because they're overpowered. So I think it's okay. Like it also makes it quite fun as well when you get like strong item and you play around with that. Of course, like at some point game needs to settle down, but during development it's okay. I'm not liking that. Why not make Cheesebird only give 2 free rather than any buff? Yeah, kind of true. The fact that you can get the power from cheese is stronger than it should be. Double Axe just needs to cost more stamina, for sure. More stamina and probably slower as well. It's a big ass weapon. What's the cooldown on it? Not much, right? It's a 1.5. 1.5. It's faster than a hero longsword. It's a fast as hell weapon. It needs to be like a shovel, like 2 or 2.2. Of course I love it and I would love to be slow. But in terms of balance, it needs to get slower for sure. And stamina cost, I think even like stamina cost can be same. I don't know if stamina cost needs to increase a lot. I think just cooldown, make it slower. So it's harder to actually scale. Fairly certain Steel Goop is so much more of a problem than Double Axe, it is wild. That's true. Steel Goop are also kind of hard to balance right now. Steel Goop has like 2 strong builds, right? Double Axe and also Rattling Gun on Ranger. Not talking power level, I'm talking seeing random bullshit go when I talk about complexity. Yeah, I agree. That like random buffs feel a little bit weird. Like cheese giving just something like regeneration might be as fine as just giving random buff. You can keep their power level while not making the new items just have more effects. Carrot Goop needs a buff, now everything is stronger. Carrot Goop needs a buff for ages. It hasn't been used for ages now, goddamn. Steel Goop is mostly without dual axe. You can just spam daggers. Yeah, I mean, Steel Goobert has so many uses right now. Extra uses, right? Because we have some very fast stuff coming to the scene. Look at that screenshot I put on your chat earlier, and it's what I'll be playing in about 5 minutes as well. I have 120 buffs. I'm not looking at the actual buffs that I'm getting anymore. Where is it? Oh, this one, right? Yeah, the random buffs is weird. You just get all the buffs. I kind of agree. It started with Wall Paintinger, right? Wall Paintinger just gives you like the spread out of buffs, right? It literally gives you the buff you have least of. I don't know. I'm not completely against it, but I see the point that it's kind of weird that the more items you have which give random, it's kind of weird. It just spreads it out and that's what it does. You can fit so many speed bags and gloves due to its size and shape. In most boards, it's already limited by stamina and not by speed. I agree. Steel Goobert is very strong right now. Because of mostly because I think of damage increase, but it also the fact that it gives block makes it only better because it gives you also sustain, pretty decent sustain as well if you have shields. I didn't play a single dual axe game, got to GM 69. Holy moly. I mean, 69 is first of all nice. But yeah, it's not necessary, I agree. Berserker has like more gimmicks to it than just double axe, but just double axe, the thing about double axe is you get it and then you build everything around it, right? It's a single item which is a build on itself. It's a double axe build. And that's what's the problem, like the item is so good that it just runs by itself. Such an absurd board that I can't even tell if it's good or bad. Yeah, I get it. Random buffs is just a fancy way of saying empower, but only 1/6 chance. Most of the time, yes. And I guess some item, like, I like that Shaman has gain 1, use 2 luck to gain 5 random buffs. Oh, it can give luck as well. It was on Mega Claw, yeah. Gain 40 random other buffs. so you can get some randomness here. But you at least know that you won't get luck here. Lamp was always what you have least of. Lamp was always what you have least of, but it was more selective. Yes, I agree. Lamp is... But Lamp is a outlier in the case that it also uses those buffs like in a very specific manner. So Lamp is like... I would say it's a little bit different kind of beast in general. Steel Goop block is a problematic part. I think the Steel Goop, the fact that it just does everything is problematic, honestly. Like it just gives a decent amount of block and also gives damage boost, so it's insane. I think the main problem is how well Axe is shaped for Steel Goop. It is, but also at the same time, like the fact that it's big makes sense. Like it just, I don't know, like if you make a big weapon, it'll be, if you have any angle, it's good to use for Steel Goobert. Like Pan is easy to use with Goobert, Steel Goobert, Thorn Whip, like anything which has like angles will be good to use. So it's kind of hard to make an item which has a shape like that. The Busted Blade is also pretty easy to use with Steel Goobert, but you don't see people using it because it's slow. Just out-tempo everyone the second you combine Steel Goop. Yeah, true. I know time steamrolls people with axe builds very consistent and none of them have Steel Goop. Yeah, I also don't know if it, like if it's a requirement. I don't think that Steel Goobert makes double axe broken. I think double axe is broken on itself, but I do think that Steel Goobert does make it harder and stronger. Not that Chain Whip is in the same ballpark, but it's not worth that 2 of the Berserk specific weapons curve around Steelbird. Not 3. Busted Blade is also and Berserker exclusive item, and it does curve around it pretty well as well. People rarely seem to use Lamp Star. Yeah, unless they do like insta lamp trigger, right? You just have... Oh wait. The regular axe, not the double axe. Oh, the regular axe. But at the same time it's an axe. It makes sense that it's such a shape, you know. So the fact that it's a balancing issue, yeah, but at the same time it's such an item. Like, what can you do about it? It makes sense that it's such a shape. Like, the problem of axe is that it scales on itself, like a lot of it, and it's so fast, right? It should be slower. So that's the problem. It's not that it... Form Whip can be used with Steel Goobert as well, but you don't see people using Form Whip with Steel Goobert because it's so slow and it's trash. Just have a Steel Goop and a regular axe and everyone dies. Yes, I just don't think that the axe shape is the problem. The problem is that axe is just so strong. A fair regular axe does well there. Can't believe double axe at 5 freaking gems slow. That is the most insane power of the weapon for me. I kind of like it. I like that the Berserker in general has access to 2 items, one of which has 5 slots and another one has 6 slots. I like it as a gimmick. I think that's okay, honestly. Like, it is ridiculous and it is abusable, but I think just like nerfing double axe and finding this middle ground between it being too effective and not affecting enough, like, I think slots is okay. Like, as a gimmick, I think it's okay. Like, it's a big weapon. It makes sense that it has a lot of slots. One of my over complaints about Berserker is the colors. What about them? I was just running Steel Goop, regular axe, never the double combine. I mean, yeah, true. The regular axe is also not bad, right? And it's like, it's a fast weapon with a corner, right? But at the same time, like, and it's very cheap. That's also actually the problem with axe. It's cheap. You get it early and it's cheap. It's 6 gold. It's not much. Like, you can also run Excalibur with Steel Goobert, but Excalibur is expensive. And Pan is slow. So, like, it's a lot of things. Like, it's well shaped, its cooldown is low, its stamina is okay, and gets scaling on itself. Like, there's a lot of things which Axe does, which makes it broken. Just scale all of them a little bit down and it'll be better. The man with the same sleep schedule as me. Hey Lucky Luke, how are you doing? It's a game about fitting items into your backpack in a way that positions them in a way that they can interact with other items. And one of Berserker's most powerful items is a 1x1 that does not care where in your bag it is. You know, I haven't thought about it, but I 100% agree with that point. Spite Color needs... I think it's the same problem with Draconic Orb, honestly. Draconic Orb is a little bit better. You sometimes care where it is because other items relate to it. But I do agree. They should have some stars instead. I don't know what it will be. Maybe like Spite Color will increase battle rage for only items around it. That can be one solution, you know, like you have 8 stars around it, which will get a prolonged battle rage. That will be kind of cool. I think Draconic Orb can also give only crits around it, but it can actually make it stronger. Because you usually have stronger and weaker items, and having crits only on one item and not the other can only make it stronger. So I don't know if it's a good idea on Draconic Orb, but I agree. I like your point, AJ Fish. Although I guess it's not the only item, right? There's Blood Amulet, there's stuff. But that Blood Amulet is different because it's basically a combine item. It's the same as Corrupted Crystal, right? You get them usually for combine and not for the default effect. And here it also doesn't combine with anything, so it's a weird overall. I agree with that comment. Spite Color is definitely an auto pick. Things should not be auto pick. Yeah, especially if you have like some strong forged items. I don't think it's auto pick all the time. I think there's cases where you don't really care about battle rage that much. Like if you don't have a lot of forged item, you don't care about it, so Spite Color is not auto pick. But at the same time, it's like 90% auto pick, so... And that's a very high percentage. Maybe just higher stamina cost on Axe, so it will It still feels fast and strong straight away, but you have to invest in your stam regen to make it work. Might be an also a solution. I agree. But honestly, I think both cooldown will go up and stamina cost will go up. I think that'll be the balancing. I think both will go up. Because I feel like the cooldown is a bigger problem in balancing wise. One spike per forged item around it, so people have to choose between giving Pyros more hit or not. Low down. You again with that. Okay, more like one spike per free item. Honestly, one spike per item is not even that overpowered in the current state, right? Like spikes got nerfed quite heavily in this with early access, because Ranger got access to a decently powerful early ranged weapon, which is very cheap in stamina. So if you get any scaling like a Steel Goobert, they become very strong because you can have a lot of them and they're relatively fast. And Pyro has a very strong spike removal with it, with its Draconic. Honestly, Draconic Corpse, like, I think they're too good. In terms of, like, the spike removal part is just too strong. Just get 2 Draconic Corpse and there's almost no one which can keep up with your spike removal. Because also they usually speed up to like once per second. Even Bloodthorn usually doesn't provide enough spikes for that. Or like Poison Ivy or whatever. Okay, more like... Getting random buffs feels like the most consistent way to get a large number of spikes. You're not wrong. But also spikes in general are like such a bad idea right now because of this item specifically. Because Pyros are so popular, first of all, and second of all, that this item exists. So it's just not worth it to have spikes. So yes, like in general, Bloodthorn also is very hard to play right now. Unless you get like a bunch of Vampiric Gloves, then it's okay. But if you don't get them, then Bloodthorn is sort of a dead build. You meet Pyro, who has at least 1 Draconic Orb, you do not have anything against him. And also stealing of buffs got so prevalent as well. Like the builds which scale slowly through buffs just do not work anymore. Because also Squirrel exists. Squirrel is also so broken, by the way. Like even if you're playing Pyro and you like scale with heat and get more heat while you get more heat, free squirrels disable that. It's just so much removal and you can speed them up so much with pets. Like you cannot keep up creating heat if you have like free squirrel on Ranger. That is insane. Also because Chili Goob exists. What about Chili Goob specifically? Because it's healing or why? If your build scale slowly dies to Chili Goob builds. Yeah, true. Although I think spikes, the only time spikes are okay are like early mid game. So you can catch some Pyros who don't have yet Draconic Orb and they die from your spikes, because spikes do insane amounts of damage to Pyro. But also like, so yeah, so you can meet Pyros which don't have Draconic Orb. So there's like a tiny time frame in round, in terms of rounds, where you can play some spikes and then you have to sell them. Squirrel is busted until they find a debuff build that has no buffs and it does nothing. So Darksaber, Poison Bomb, like, right? I agree, but at the same time I just think that Squirrel, like, so like buff based builds are a lot more popular right now, right? Because Reaper is so dead in terms of player base. Nobody plays Reaper right now. So Squirrel, so anything that steals buffs is very overpowered right now. And especially if it can do it so fast as Squirrel does. Sustain plus scaling that scales how fast it scales itself. Exactly. Okay, I get what you mean by Chili Goobert, yes. The heat in general has this problem, right? if you can generate heat, then you generate heat, you get more heat, you speed up, you generate even more heat, because the thing that generates heat gets it, like, makes it faster. So heat is a very self-scaling item, which it makes it hard to like balance around. But I think they didn't do too bad of a job with heat in on Pyro. There's like, I don't think Pyro is just in general very strong, but I think there's just a couple of things which needs to be nerfed for it to be not completely broken in terms of heat. I think with just with heat in general, I think they hit like a decent balance of like it not being completely broken. And then you have weapons that gain damage from heat, so you scale your heat and you gain healing damage, attack speed, and faster scaling. Yeah, exactly. Berserk kinda does the same though. What do you mean? Do you mean the double axe part? Like hit more and hit stronger? With each hit you hit even more? Or what do you mean? I think heat is conceptually fine, and the scaling being scaled is conceptually fine. It just completely outshadows a lot of older scaling items. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, so basically in the current meta, like unless you're a Pyro, slow scaling doesn't exist for you, right? Because if you meet Pyro, they'll outscale you because their scaling is like progressively fast, right? It starts slow and gets faster, while you scale like usually in the same amount. So yeah, kinda true. More healing and damage over time. Well, it's not just straight up more healing and damage over time. If you're talking about Battle Rage, I mean, yeah, Double Axe specifically has this problem, right? But I don't think the Berserker in general has it. It has a Battle Rage, but it's not like over time. It's just like once you hit it, 5 seconds, and then you can prolong this 5 seconds. So it's not exactly the same as Pyro, but I see what you mean, especially with Double Axe and Axe. Current meta for both Pyro and Berserk is sustained builds that scale into enough DPS to kill sustained builds. Kinda true for sure. There is some truth to that. And some Berserker builds I've seen as well, kinda interesting, that you have Double Axe, which gets crazy speed up by Dragon Claws, and then like a bunch of Dragon Skill armor. So once you hit this Battle Rage, you get complete like 20% damage, or even lower, like 10 or 5. And then your Double Axe gets like over 100% speed up and just smack your opponent until they die. The Rager meta is to blind Berserkers and to steal Pyro scaling. Yeah, true. Or just create Rattling Gun, right? Just have Steel Goobert, have 4 reds on triggers, have 4 short bows on both parts, and just scale even faster. The Reaper meta is to cry in the corner. That is so true. The Reaper is just... yeah, I don't even know how to describe it better. It is straight up cry. I mean, Poison with Snake was kind of fun, I played it. Like with Goobert, Poison Scythe, you can create quite a bit of poison, which is fun. But that's not nearly as fun or strong as other like classes right now. And Cauldron is just sad. Again, I think Cauldron should be just a general unique item. I think it's a cool unique item. I don't see like a big... like I see the idea of Reaper being like, you know, this witch which does potions and stuff, but I don't think it works that well. Reaper in general is not the only class who can do potions, so kind of weird. Reaper players sacrificing all their lives to buy 8 pigs in the hopes to reroll into enough potions to play Poison Bomb. Exactly how it feels to play a Reaper right now. Okay, so I almost like finished with all the prediction follow-up, so let's end here. The discussion a little bit calm down. It's all cool to discuss it, just let's finish with that as well. Strong holy potion, so remove debuffs. I thought it'll give invulnerability. That is not true, right? What does it do even extra? What is the extra thing it does? Oh, it gives buffs instead. Or not instead, but extra buffs. Alrighty. Weird mana potion. Huge amount of mana. Well, that's not really true. I thought it'll be even more. It's only 6 from 4. But I also thought it'll be like plus mana orb, which will give a lot. Random buffs, who would have thought? Good point. Bow, ranged weapon. Did I actually think that it'll be Berserker exclusive? I couldn't have been more wrong. Well, I guess it's exclusive, so half of the words in the sentence are correct, but so it can technically be yellow, but and ranged weapons, of course, correct, but that was easy to predict. Actually, you know, honestly, if we'd see at least one transformed short bow, like the Fortuna one, where is it? I don't think bow will work, right? God damn it. So if we'd see in the trailer at least one small one, would be able to guess that it's ranged ones, right? Because they're so similar. But since any of them, not a single one of them is shown in the trailer, that's why it's kind of hard to predict. So yeah, that's wrong. Grove Keeper is a mega clover. Nature related, luck or lucky clover related. You know, that is the most correct you can get. It's not really nature related, but it is very much luck and lucky clover related. And we thought that maybe it's mana or blind related because it seems a little bit magical, but that couldn't be more wrong. The fact that it's just a big customer card still amazes me. I think that is honestly amazing that they did something like that. I love the Mega Clover as an item. I hope they don't nerf the ass out of it. You thought it was mana blind, but it was me random buffs. It was random buffs all along. True. So it is kind of mana related, right? You can, like, you know, put mana in green. Can I do that even? No, I can't, but it is mana related in a way. Alchemist. So this cauldron interacts with potions. Obviously true, and I put like make strong potions for free. That's what I actually predicted. So this is the 100% or 90%, this is 50%. That's why they're so similar. Combine potions behind, create potions from items. Yes, so we thought that maybe you can actually, like, you know, create, like, you know, get Fly Garrick and something else and create a potion out of it or something like that. Or maybe combine potions, like, you know, like potions when they're under each other, they get some extra like things and the color. So we thought maybe you'll be able to actually combine them and you get, like, you know, divine vampiric potion or something like that. But nope. Venomancer pet weapon inflicts poison, scales with poison. It doesn't scale with poison, it's not a weapon. It does inflict poison. So I'd put yellow. Interacts with poison, increasing poison amount. No, it doesn't. What I meant by that is that, you know, from the amount of poison opponent has, there can be some gimmicks, like, you know, like increases the poison amount by 10% or by 20%, or, you know, like once per 2 seconds it increases the poison amount by 10%, so something like that was the idea. So that's not wrong. So it's as simple as just give poison and protect poison. I guess luck also is not something which wasn't really expecting. Alchemist should really have more than 2 unique potions. It has 3. But yes, and like some actually useful ones. That's a good point. The potions, the new potions are very underwhelming. Vampiric one is too weird. Divine Potion is like, considering how much debuff removal there is, Divine Potion is kind of weak. It won't help you against Poison Bomb, but also like there's other items which will help better for the lower price. And what is the third one? And the Mana Potion, the big Mana Potion. The big Mana Potion is nice. It's just a little bit stronger. It feels good enough. I even forgot one. That's how useless they are, true. 10 lifesteal is pretty great, but like rubies. Yeah, exactly. If it'll be like for the whole battle, 10% lifesteal maybe. For 5 seconds, that's quite a short amount of time. And like, well, I guess you can try to trigger a lot of them and then it can be fun, but you also trigger them at 80% HP. So, like, you want to trigger it probably like later maybe? I don't know, it's hard. Like, if it would be for the whole fight, then it'll be nice. And also maybe like too strong, I don't know. Vampiric Potion in general is kind of hard to use. I'd honestly just make Vampiric Potion give a lot more vamp. Just give it like free vamp. Because when you play anything vamp related, the most thing you struggle around is getting a vamp. And the vamp potion not giving vamp, giving one vamp is just straight up bad. That's not what you need when you are playing vamp based builds. You would rather get Hungry Blade and some regeneration. I guess random buffs make the game less solvable, though there's definitely metas. Maybe. Also, lifesteal vamp in general are kind of weird against Berserker due to damage reduction. That's a very good point as well. They also get like, when they hit the wall of a Berserker, they don't heal, and that's kind of weird. But yeah, I think honestly, Vampiric Potion, like this lifesteal is just laughable, right? Steal 5 life, what is that? Just give it like 2 vamp and strong one gives 3 vamp. And then it's actually useful. Then you can get a decent amount of vamp out of them and you can make some cool Hungry Blade stuff. Because right now Vampiric Potion gives so few vamp that it's unusable for the purpose you want it to. Like even if I'm playing Hungry Blade, I don't feel like buying Vampiric Potion. How much does it cost also? For what is it? 8? For 8 gold I get 1 vamp. Amazing. I can just buy Blood Amulet and get 2. That's how bad it is. It sounds like what vamp random buffs, what empower random buffs, what form. Yes, exactly. If you want anything, just buy something which produces random buffs every half of a second and you're good to go. Oh, I guess this one actually gives like from a selection. Randomly gain luck, empower, or regeneration. So it's empower 33% of the time. That's pretty good. Better than 1 per 6. Berserker plus Heart of Darkness makes Vampire sad. I think like Heart of Darkness fell a little bit out of the meta, but you are correct. I think I don't see Heart, although actually I do see one Heart of Darkness quite often if I think about it. Like it fell out of the meta, like the Ranger build when you get the Aggressive Leaf and you play 2 Hearts of Darkness. That fell out of the meta for after the Empower fell. But you can still see 1 Heart of Darkness quite often. I think quite a few people do have it. I would like to see a lot of the random buff items be more like Power Puppy, where it's random between a few restricted options. I think so. I think I agree. Like quite a few of them can use this change. I think like Wolpentinger was fine. Especially since like it's very specific, it gives you buffs you have least of. That's pretty interesting, right? So you can generate everything. You can generate all the buffs and then Wolpentinger will start generating something you are using the most. Like it's pretty cool on Bloodthorn, right? You start with a lot of regeneration, you generate a bunch of spikes and vamp. Wolpentinger, like during your conversion of regeneration, Wolpentinger generates a little bit of empower and heat, and when you run out of regeneration, Woolpit just starts producing regeneration for you. I kind of like this gimmick that, you know, this, like, the buff you have least of. But everything just giving random buffs is there's a little bit too much of it. I don't think it's completely like bad mechanic, but there definitely is too much. Wulp does have the issue where it's very dramatically better on Pyro. I agree. And also it's kind of sad if you meet Ripsaw Blade, because you're just gonna get stuck producing spike and regeneration, which is gonna be deleted. But in general, as a concept of buff you have least of, I kind of like it. I guess it's the same on Lamp, right? Lamp also gives you the one you have least of, but from a random, not like a limited selection. Where is the Lamp? Here. Depending on what you have the least of. Also, I kind of like that it's depending on what you have the least of. I never noticed that, but how it depends on that. Like it does. Imagine that Jin Lamp wouldn't give the buff you have least of, right? It wouldn't be wrong for it to do it. Like it gives you buff depending on that you have least of, so it doesn't give you the one you have least of. Because here is like gain 3 of the buff you have least of, but they're depending on what you have least of. It's kind of funny that some of the language is a little bit different, although the item works in the same way. Let's finish here. People start to talk about balance, and I'll have to talk about balance, and I cannot finish. So, Stun Shield we didn't see in the trailer, but we saw it later in some Twitter post I showed. So it's Valor Shield plus fires or flames, I guess, so that's correct. Gives heat on each X block. That is actually wrong. I guess we're kind of right that it gives something on X amount of block, but it damages it instead of giving heat. So let's... So that is the final picture. I got quite a bit right, although of course quite a few of them, like probably scales with cold, is very loosey. But I did get like quite a few. I think it's like 50-50, right? 50% right, 50% wrong. Can I calculate it by somehow? Give me... Insert data. Conditional form tickle. I have no idea how to do it quickly, so I think I might count it. Or if somebody is willing, this sheet is in the Discord, they can go here and count it and tell me. If somebody wants to do it right now, I'll probably do it later and post it in Discord if you're interested.